A week before the VSNA 2021 convention, the VSNA Next Gen members joined together to have an Anubhava Mantapa event titled The State of Next Gen. In this event, we had a conversation about where we want to take VSNA in the future. The prompt for the following conversation was to describe how you hope VSNA Next Gen can be different than youth programs we have seen in the past. Please tune along to hear some of our members' responses.
So to finish out this Anubhava Goshti, I'd like to kind of hear everyone's thoughts on what do you see for the future of VSNA Next Gen, and how do you see this being different than what we've done in the past?
Personally, for me, VSNA Next Gen, I think, is exactly the community that I want to be a part of, to learn about Vidashaiva philosophy, to connect with people like me who share my cultural identity. And my hope for Next Gen is, for 5-10 years down the line, for us to be a strong, interconnected organization. Unfortunately, I feel like myself and other people, there's a point at which we drop off. We lose communication and connection to VSNA and Virashaiva philosophy because there's not enough in touch, deep engagement with what Virashaivism is. So I think from here on out, and using Next Gen as a jumping off point, we can build that community to continue to learn, and use our philosophy to engage with our world here in North America even better.
I have hopes that VSNA Next Gen can continue to grow to be a collaborative space, where we are coming from a place of curiosity, where we want to learn more about our Virashaiva culture and want to adapt it to our North American experience. I think that this organic nature that we've built so far is something that we can push forward. It might not be the most efficient, but I think that's okay. It is the most inclusive. So I have a lot of hope for the style, the community, and the energy that we're building here. And I have actual hope that in the future VSNA will exist, VSNA Next Gen will exist, for my kids.
Most importantly for me, I think, is I want it to be a way for me to continue to be involved and continue to build relationships that started years ago in conventions. But as time went on, as I started my career, going to school, and with COVID and everything, I feel like those relationships were at risk of falling apart, But through Next Gen, there's another opportunity to continue building those relationships, working towards creating this new community, as well as continuing to further my understanding of the philosophy that all connects all of us. So for me, it's just a way to stay connected and to continue building my friendships that I've made.
Yeah, VSNA Next Gen is something I wish I had 10 years ago when I first started VSNA, because I think, as many of us were saying, we go to a convention every year, we meet everyone physically, but after that, there's not really too much of communication between us. And even though we have a lot of friendships from these conventions, we're not keeping in touch. But this type of chapter or organization is going to allow us and the present and future youth people to keep in touch with their peers, have a stronger bond with their culture, their religion, because like all of us, we're super proud of, I think we view ourselves as very unique people because our religion spans back centuries ago, and those philosophies still hold true to this day, throughout all the stuff that's happening in the world. And I think that this organization has a huge potential to do some really big things in the future, not only within our organization, but within North America, and who knows, even the world. So that's what it means to me.
Kind of had some other thoughts to add. I'm kind of thinking about I know that Black Lives Matter was brought up. There's the Israel-Palestine. There are things happening that there are controversial stances to take that I feel like I have yet to see Central VSNA take a stand on that seem to be very basic moral questions that are being asked of us as a community. So I am excited to be part of a younger, nimble group where we are willing to have those difficult conversations, whether it's about Indian nationalism, Kashmir, Palestine. There's so many things where, yeah, there is a conversation to be had that may be a tough conversation, but just because it's controversial, I've seen it I've seen it having been shied away from in the past, and I'm excited to be part of a dynamic group that's ready to have those conversations.
So to bounce off what Jasmina said, so this is like the first time I've been in contact and actually regularly meeting with people of VSNA for like 7 to 10 years. And that's something that means a lot to me. And I know that being able to connect with individuals such as the VSNA Next Gen members who have a similar background is really important, especially to discuss conversations like what Jasmina talked about, not only the religious ones, but also ones that are applicable to everyday life that we experience just growing up in the United States. So going forward, I hope that we can all work together and maintain this connection that we all have to further grow VSNA Next Gen.
I really love what people are saying here. I think one of the things that I really want to see out of Next Gen is to see a set of Sharnas in a community that aligns with what I perceive to be the original Sharana movement. You know, when we had Basavanna who came up in the 12th century and said, we're not going to do caste anymore. We are not going to do things in this immoral way or be quiet about it. I feel like the sense that I've gotten from a lot of things that we do here is that that's not the stance we take. We will be quiet about it. We'll sort of mind our own business and just sort of go about things. Whereas I feel like this is a fantastic community to be having thoughtful discussions about. You know, the original Sharanas were very thoughtful. They always debated. Some of them would make fun of each other in their vachanas. But the point is to be thoughtful and to take action. Like they didn't stop with just writing things down. They took action on it. And I think we have an amazing community to do that. We have amazing people to do that. And we have an amazing history and culture to build off of to even, you know, have those spiritual foundations for building a community that's intending to do this. And I think those are all beautiful things that we need to take advantage of. And I really believe that Next Gen can. That's why I'm here.
Going off of what Trishul just said, you know, I do think that there is something inherent in Virashaivism and in what the Sharnas visualized, in which we challenge the status quo in a way that seeks to better us as a community and to better the communities around the world. And I hope that this can be a space where we can do that, where we see Virashaivism as a living document, as something that evolves as we evolve, and something that grows as we grow. And we take that and we apply it to our lives to better ourselves, better our world, et cetera. And we do it in a way that helps us bring our community closer together. That's what I hope to see coming out of Next Gen.
So I just wanted to give a shout out to everybody who's been a part of Next Gen and say how proud I am of all the work that you've done so far. I've been wanting to be part of it and participate for a while, but I haven't been just because I've been caught up with other stuff. But it's just so nice to see concrete progress, to see what's happened. And it's not just, you know, the conversation at a convention that, oh, we'll stay in touch and, you know, these like promises we've all made and it's all fallen through. And I mean, you guys started in the middle of, like, you started in February. That's already, you know, not when normally the conversation would start, which is like in July, right after a convention, and it would drop off. But really gives me a ray of hope that, you know, this is something that's going to keep evolving. And, you know, whoever the next gen is that is going to take over, you know, we can pass this baton to. I think in the end, it's just this philosophy that matters. It doesn't matter what platform they take it onto. So just kudos to everybody, and I'm really excited to see where this goes. Thanks.
Kind of along those lines, I do want to also mention that it's been such a cool experience to work with everyone here and to kind of be self-motivated, as in our group is self-motivated, where all of this progress is truly due to all of the hours that has been put in by the people in this room, and in the theoretical room. It has been mostly unguided by anyone from Central VSNA. We do have Harish Uncle, who brought us up together originally, and definitely asks for updates, but most of the progress and drive has come from us, and our passion. So I want to kind of state that it's something that I take a lot of pride in.
I think I just wanted to reiterate something you just said, which is there is tremendous passion amongst the youth to engage with Virashaivism and to engage with the culture that our parents have, passed on to us. And there's a lot of passion, a lot of drive, and we hope that there will also be a lot of trust that we can carry forward these traditions and we can, see them through. And that's what we would also hope to pass on to the next generation.
For the final part of this video, we will be briefly going over some updates of projects that we have started as VSNA Next Gen. Some of the projects include the Vachana project, the Anubhava Mantapas that we have been doing, the Career Spotlights projects, and the Kickbacks project.
So we started in February with this vision and a few people, and we've grown significantly since then. And I'm really proud to say that NextGen is a very active organization that is building projects and tools that are really meant to last. Since February, we have held consistent bi-weekly meetings. We have our one Thursday meeting a month and one Sunday meeting a month. We have ratified our first charter, and it is kind of an evolving document to remind us of some of the core tenets that we started with that I detailed earlier. And we have created a couple of really robust tools to help us collaborate across the continent as we are virtual and as we are a group that's spread out. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you our Notion page. This is something that we use to keep track of our meeting minutes. In each of these different tabs, we have our minutes from each meeting. We have our project outline, our project spaces outlined here as well, with many places to brainstorm and collaborate with each other. Also, we have our Slack space, which I will also show you, where this is where the primary place where we communicate with each other, let everyone know about different events that we are holding, and also collaborate on individual projects. So for our last Anubhava Mantapa, this is where we shared sources and throw ideas for the future. And using these collaboration tools, we've been able to start 4 member-led projects that are really cool.
From our initial survey asking NextGen members what they wanted to get out of VSNA NextGen, one of the most requested things was the opportunity for networking, both socially and professionally, with other VSNA members. Looking at the professional side of this, we immediately realized that there are amazing people in VSNA doing incredible things with their careers. And looking at how we could sort of tap into that during the pandemic, we decided to create the Career Spotlights project. The idea behind the project is we will do video interviews of various members in the NextGen community, looking to provide mentorship for people who want to enter the field that this person is in later on in their careers. We'll be posting each of those videos to our YouTube channel coming soon. We have 2 interviews scheduled right now. The first is with Danya, who is part of the Chicago chapter and going to be a JD candidate at the Loyola University Chicago School of Law. Danya has been doing some awesome work in paralegal and immigration as a paralegal in immigration law, and we're really excited to do this interview with him. The second interview that we're going to be doing is with Sachin Suresh, also from the Chicago chapter. He's the vice president of engineering at a sports modeling company called Fast Model Sports. He's got a long history in software engineering development and also super excited to do this interview.
So another one of the initiatives by VSNA NextGen has been the development of the Vachana Project, which is essentially a monthly study group where members of the community can come together to discuss Vachanas, their transliterations, and their impact and continuing legacy in more modern times. And to date, this has been a very productive space for members of the community to come together and discuss not only how we can apply Virashaiva principles to our day-to-day lives, but also for members of the community to discuss the unique experience of balancing both Indian heritage and American identity. As we continue on in the future, our plans are to develop a database of vachanas. As of now, there's no particular consolidation of vachanas readily available to the public. But with the creation of this database, we would have not only the vachanas and the transliterations, but also VSNA Next Gen members' thoughts on these vachanas and the discussions that we've had concerning them, which we think will be a very useful resource for future members, as well as members who are more interested now in kind of expanding their perspective of Virashaivism and this particular ideology.
Hi, my name is Danyuta Bagil, and I've been working on NextGen's Anubhava Mantapa project, which is our attempt to host conversations and in-depth discussions where we get to share our experiences and thoughts around big hot topic issues, social justice issues, and human rights concerns right here in the US and around the world. It's an opportunity for us to apply our Virashaiva philosophy and principles to real world problems and modern issues. It's an opportunity for us to gather together and talk about how we can take action, how we can talk about things and take further action in an attempt to make a difference in the world. We know that Anubhava Mantapas were historically a place for religious and philosophical discussion, and we want to bring that to the 21st century where we can talk to our peers and engage in our Virashaiva philosophy in a deeper sense, in a way that connects more really to our surroundings and our world today. Our first Anubhav Mantapa was hosted just this month, and we talked about the current COVID crisis in India and how this new wave manifested and where it went wrong in the Indian response to COVID. We talked about structural issues, whether it's economic, housing, and medical systems that were flawed and played a big role in that in the current crisis. And we also talked about where social issues came to play a bigger role, issues like the caste system, migrant worker issues, poverty in general, and how that plays a role in whether someone can have access to remote work, quarantine, good health care. All these things were topics that we discussed during our conversation. And we hope to have lots more discussions just like that one in our Anubhava Mantapa events to come.
We're also starting community meetups on a regional basis. This initiative is called Next Gen Kickbacks, and they present an opportunity for members of the community to gather together and discuss Virashaiva philosophy and principles. Especially with the isolation of last year, we think it's really important to foster in-person gatherings. Our first kickback is scheduled for late July, early August, and will encompass the East Coast chapters. We're hoping to expand in the future and provide a template for other regions to host their own gatherings.
If you're interested in joining us, please email us at vsnanextgen@gmail.com. Thanks for watching.